We're good. Unless you do the hi-ya. Hi-ya's got to be done. It's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. I'm Mike Z, and welcome to the What Not podcast. I'm joined with me as Chris, and today we have a special guest. His name is JP Brown.
Hello.
So JP, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
Well, I am JP Brown with Foxhall Woodworks. I have a YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. I'm actually a network engineer in real life. And then I'm also a professional graphics artist and a professional video editor and a professional SketchUp artist. So,
and a professional skydiver in his hobby.
I would probably break the parachute.
They make heavy duty ones.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, they had the Dumbo drop, so I guess they had to have big ones.
Well, I wasn't thinking that size, but, just
It's
larger than backpack needed.
It's for scale.
Good gracious almighty. Sorry, I'm running around at the last minute to get my water bottle. No Dr. Pepper for me tonight. Chris, what are you drinking? You got some Cheerwine over there?
Sundrop, actually.
Hey,
I needed a little energy, a little pick-me-up.
Very cool. What about you, JP?
I am surfing on some Diet Mountain Dew.
There you go.
He's doing the do.
Yep.
Chris gets wound up.
Sundrop.
He starts pulling the Harold and Kumar extreme.
Nice. Oh, we got some comments. Good evening, John. Thank you for joining us, which we do know now it is not Michelle, it is John. And of course, Mr. Kyle Eli. Thank you for joining us. All right, so tonight is, we kind of dubbed it 14.2 because we had more to talk about with manufacturer. Sorry, I'm just trying to think as I speak here. Basically, talking to manufacturers, how to talk to brands and things along those lines, how to get yourself into the door with some companies, and then maybe, how to present yourself and what you can offer without overdoing what you can, or overstating what you can accomplish. How's that?
There you go.
Perfect. So, and then JP, him and I have worked together on the day job for myself with Klingspor woodworking shop. So he kind of knows, he's got his own side of it. He's done a lot with other companies as well. So he's a great resource when it comes to this. If you haven't seen his videos, he's got a lot of great review videos, tool review videos. And you just released the pocket hole shootout, right?
No, the Masca pocket hole jig. I am currently filming the showdown right now.
Oh, sorry to let the cat out of the bag on that one. My bad.
No, it's okay. It's all over social media anyway, so everybody knows it's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually filming 2 videos at one time. I'm doing a miter saw build, or miter saw station build, and I'm using all 3 pocket hole jigs in the whole video throughout the process.
Now, are you doing it in 3 separate parts so you can see which one falls apart better, or?
Nope. Or the actual miter saw station is going to be
which one falls apart better?
I've seen the plans. I know that it's solid. Like, you'll like it because I know you're looking to build one. You'll like it.
I'll even give you the plans, Chris. Maybe. But yeah, storage box. I have. Speaking of companies, I have a new T-Track system that nobody's really seen before. And I can't really say anything about it until the video is released, but it's made out of solid aluminum. So it's and the tracks themselves are actually solid steel. So
now, are they linkable? Are the tracks linkable? Can you put them together?
No, they're all one long piece. So
Okay,
you'll have to do some metal work to cut them to length.
all right, that narrows down the possibilities of who it can be. That's what I was asking.
Right. Yeah.
And you said they were made of steel?
Yeah. The tracks are made out of steel, and the stop is made out of solid aluminum.
Wow.
So yeah. Then Masca is also in the product in the video too. They gave me some Viking arms to check out.
What's the Viking arm?
That's they're kind of like clamps that you squeeze together and they lift things up to level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm using those to level the cabinets and then installing the drawer fronts because the drawer fronts have a toe kick in front of them.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use it to lift it up and level the drawer fronts at the bottom of the toe kick. So
What now? How far can they lift?
I believe it is 9 inches
Okay.
at 330 pounds per unit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get me off the ground.
That's why you're able to use the steel teeth.
No,
I'm
what
sorry,
was
is
that,
that-
Chris? Sorry.
Yeah, I think we lagged out a little bit.
I said that's why he's able to use the steel T-track because he's got something that can lift that up and support it.
Yeah, but the T-track is actually embedded into a torsion box.
Ah.
So it's about a 30-second below the top of it. So it's going to be a really cool design. I've gotten most of it finished. I'm working on the drawers next.
Now, anything special with the drawers? Dovetails? Just standard?
No, they're going to be all pocket holes. That's one of the part of the showdown videos. I'm going to use the pocket hole jig at the half-inch setting for all the drawers. So,
Gotcha.
because in my experience, the half-inch plywood is the hardest ones to make pocket holes in because of this. It's kind of finicky with the settings. So I'm going to showcase that, pretty well.
Now, are you? So I'm just curious because I've done a lot of the half inch, like with the 3/4 of the 1 inch screws. Are you going to set all of them up to where they say it's for half-inch material and see how well they do right out of the box,
Right,
and then
yeah.
tweak? Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're gonna do the manufacturer's instructions for half-inch.
Okay.
I'm doing the 720. I'm doing the Armor pocket hole jig and the Masca pocket hole jig. So you got two of them that are auto, and then one of them's manual.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of building my own torsion top right now, so
I saw that.
those are fun. A lot of pocket hole screws.
Yeah, my original Meyer salt station was a King's fine woodworking model. I think I counted 927 pocket holes in it.
Wow.
Yeah. My K4 did not last after that project.
Something like that, it's worth recycling the screws.
Sorry about that. We were getting notes that the broadcast was going in and out, so I was just double checking how everything looked. But it's good now. Thank you for letting us know, Scott. We appreciate that. Yeah, that's good.
So, quick question on your torsion design. Are you doing the saddle joint or the half lap joint, or are you doing long pieces with short little pieces to make the grid in the middle?
You're going to do the long pieces with a short, just so that also showcases pocket holes. More well.
Right.
Yeah, I've done a, I guess it's a saddle joint, bridle joint.
Mm-hmm.
With I think it's a half lap kind of deal. I've done that before and it works very well, but I think I kind of like the pocket hole method with the short better.
Same.
Yeah.
It helps ensure that your long pieces have no structural integrity loss due to the dadoed out areas. So
Right. Yeah. There's a lot less room for error.
mhm.
So I always had a question. Do you put anything in the squares for the box area before you put the plywood on? Because you're basically sealing up air, right?
Yeah. Right. It's basically sealing up a web.
Okay.
I have seen people do. They want to put dog holes in a torsion box. They'll put pieces of plywood or pieces of like 2x4 or 2x6 inside the web. So when they drill the holes down, they'll have some more meat when you put in your lockdowns.
Okay, instead of just the plywood itself. Gotcha.
Right, right. Yeah, so they'll have some basic backing under it. Cool. Plus, it also prevents blowout from the underneath, which doesn't really matter because it's inside a box. So, yeah, the dog holes tend to work a lot better when they have some meat under them.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. That's what, actually, that's where I was heading. Was if you ever put, if you drill holes or put it, not just the dog, bench dogs, but also if you put a clamp inside there, something like that, just having that top really thin like that, what people do.
Right. Well, and I've made a torsion box out of 1/2 inch plywood before, and that was actually not bad. It was actually kind of strong, but 3/4 is always the strongest.
Yeah. And how far along are you on yours, Chris? I know you had a video not too long ago where you were putting it all together.
I'm ready to put the top on, but I've got to do some things on my little hidden concealed compartment area that will have a special function. I have to work out some details on that. I couldn't draw it up. I had to actually fit everything so that it's right. So I want to do that. I got to be able to do that before I put the top on.
Okay. Very good.
Now, are you making is it a outfeed table?
It's a workbench, but my outfeed table ties into it, so it gives me full support on the out when I'm cutting sheet goods, but it'll mostly be the workbench side, and I'm going to outfit it with the match fit dovetails.
Gotcha.
I've kind of fallen in love with that system, so I'm gonna utilize it.
Yeah, I saw the last post I saw you did was, you were talking about how you got something special and planned for it, and I didn't see anything else after that, but like I said, I've been busy at work.
Well, I haven't really done anything else on it. Last night I didn't get much done. I was fixing my truck, and tonight I was fixing the lock on the door, so yeah, so I'll be probably hitting it pretty hard Saturday.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, full bore Friday afternoon after work.
Very good.
But speaking of tonight's topic, it was funny. I had a company reach out to me Friday and say they wanted me to do a review on their product, sent me some links to their stuff, and said they wanted to do one, and then once we got done with that one, they wanted to do one or two more after that. And I hadn't reached out to any of them. It's kind of weird. And so this will reward you, Mike, because they sent me 2 of the product they want me to test. And I reached out to them and said, just out of curiosity, you sent me 2. Was that a mistake or what? They said, no, we wanted to make sure that if something happened during shipping, because we know how shipping is, if something happened and something broke or snapped, the sheath, something, you just said that we've got an extra. So she just give it away.
Well, that was nice of them.
Yeah,
okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, fun stuff.
And so talking about that, that's actually a good segue into tonight's topic. When they reach out to you, do they do it by email, social media? How did they reach out to you?
Well, of course, on all of my social channels, I've got contact information. But I guess they had seen the information, the video, other previous review videos on my YouTube channel, and so I try to keep all the reviews that I do in one playlist. So if anybody's curious about reviews, they can go check it out. But so this makes like the 3rd or 4th company that's reached out because of video content that I've put out that I have not reached out to. And so kind of what I'm gathering from this little experiment that was unintentional is if you just do review videos on products that you buy that you're going to use anyway for your shop, just do a review on it, people will start to notice that and want you to review their stuff. And it doesn't always work out that way, and it's not always a saw stop or something big, but you got to start somewhere. So if I can rack up 10, 12, 15 small tool reviews and kind of get down my method and my little protocols of getting it done, and I've got 10, 12, 15 free tools to use on my own. So it's kind of a fun little experiment that I wasn't intending to do that's kind of working out in my favor. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That is pretty cool. So it is working out to where you started out showing videos of products that you bought that were, the match fit system is a perfect example, because not only did you buy it with the intention of using it, but you also built on top of it several jigs, several different ways to incorporate it.
Yeah, and like the video I did with the Amana versus Snappy drill bit, the with the bearing on it, and I wish I could do a follow up video because I snapped my Snappy the other day when I was using it because it was handy. So anyway, but did that video and a few others, but it was all stuff that I bought, but just to do kind of what he's doing with his pocket hole system. So it's you do things and people start noticing and kind of like sort of the way you handle the review, and if you're fair and you're not just bashing stuff, people kind of see the honesty behind that.
That's no doubt.
So what about you, JP? How do people normally reach out to you, or do you reach out to them?
I've done it both ways. The first one I ever did was somebody actually reached out to me. I've reached out to a lot of companies too, and it's just a basically I do it on IG, just the IG message. Say, hey guys, like your product. I have this channel. What would you say about, if you want to, you can send me a jig or send me something. I'll review it for you. And 9 times out of 10, they actually will go for it. And then some of them will just ghost you.
Have you ever been blocked?
Not yet. I try to be professional in my my post, so haven't been blocked yet. It actually kind of sounds like fun though.
Well, it's really interesting for IG for whatever reason. If you're not already a contact of some sort, so like let's say, as for yourself, if you go to a company and you start liking their posts, IG will recognize that, okay, if they go to message you or you message them or whatever, it doesn't put it in the general, it put it in your primary. But if someone does it out of the blue and there's no kind of engagement with that other page, it'll put it into the requests. I have noticed that. So and I didn't realize there was a request folder, had zero clue, and I'm seeing there's all these messages for the Clean Sport page, and I'm like, oops, I felt bad. Like I had no clue that there were so many people in there. But then
request denied.
Yeah.
Is that
wasn't.
Is that on a business account?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. But if you don't have that interaction with that company with a couple of posts beforehand, they may never see the message. And the other nice thing I like about it too is that it'll show whether or not they've seen it, so you can at least have an idea that yes, we read it, or no, we still haven't read it yet. So as a business side of it, it's handy because people will be able to see that for themselves. So if you reach out to a company, you don't hear anything from them, try liking some of the posts, try doing something, and it will kind of let them know, hey, it'll send the company. What I got was a notification, I'm thinking through Facebook, that said, hey, on your business page, you've got this message you haven't checked, maybe you want to, or it's been a couple of days, whatever. I can't remember what it says. And that's where I found out I had a request folder.
Nice. It's also bugging the crap out of their marketing director works very well too.
I heard about that. Yeah. I can help.
I was talking about you, but okay.
Yeah, I know.
I've tried that. It didn't work for me.
Well, y'all work together, so y'all,
Oh, he gets blocked. Yeah, he gets blocked.
It's like, hey, look, it's a Teams message from Chris, block.
Yeah. Actually, I'm horrible about his text messages. I'll forget about them. I will see that they're there, and then something will come up, and I forget all about it, and I'll see it like 2 days later. Because the one where your door lock, where you're, I seriously had no idea you sent me a text about a door lock. So I apologize about that.
That's what friends are for, right?
That's right. I'm glad it wasn't an emergency. Call me. Don't text me. Let's see here. So, for the fun of it all, there is that. I haven't really reached out to anyone on personal side. I reached out to Aquacoat because I didn't see a lot of information on how to use this stuff properly. And they went ahead and sent me a tub of the white because I do a lot of the white furniture. So I figured, okay, white would be great. I already have the clear, and I showed them a picture of it. I said, I've had your clear for a long time, and it goes a long way, and it's still in the yellow container with the silver lid. And I think that's what sold it for them, is that, yeah, you have used that. You've had this a long time. So when I reached out to them, they sent it to me, no problem. There was no terms or conditions on the video, just, whenever I get a chance, or pretty much for me, I always kind of promote it and try to promote it in the way that you should use it, which is in between coats of finish and not on bare wood. Everyone's throwing it on bare wood. It's not how it works the best, but so that one I reached out to just to find out if I could. I'm trying to think. And Fuji, reached out to Fuji. That was more of just a conversation. But I've never been blocked. I've heard of people getting blocked by companies. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know if they were pestering them or what happened, but the company straight up blocks them. I thought that was pretty crazy.
I found out that a lot of the bigger manufacturers just ghost you. That will you respond to. So, they might go back to. Actually, no one of them did and says that, hey, we have our, we already have our ambassadors, so we're only going to work with them. And they're basically big YouTubers that have over 500,000 subscribers. That kind of type.
Yeah.
You can probably whittle that down to who they were.
We can narrow. So that was one of the things Chris and I were talking about today, was trying to get a hold of the Whatnot community, the Whatnottas, and find out from them. We have this idea of either critiquing videos as far as, other maker videos, or finding out from them, asking questions. Like when we watch videos, we're always asking each other as far as, did you see this part? That didn't make sense to me. Have you seen someone do that way before? That kind of thing. Not really trolling them necessarily. We do that on our own plenty, but more along the lines of just, when we ask the question to each other, it's like, would that be interesting to other people who are watching and listening to this? So if that does sound like something fun to you, let us know. And if JP, if you'd like to join in,
absolutely, that'd be a blast.
Just to see, like, maybe we'll do it on one of the I'm trying to think. Sorry, the miter station. Maybe we'll do it.
Yeah, we can call it Mystery Woodshop 3000.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Can I find 3 silhouettes? I'm going to be Crow, though. I'm just going to go right out there and say it. I'll be Crow.
So what we need to do, though, is one of his earlier videos before he kind of perfected his methods and his dialogue. So those are the fun ones to go watch.
Wait, there's a method?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you figured out kind of some of the things not to do, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's like going and watching Laney Shaughnessy. I mean, some of his earlier videos, oh, yeah, he figured out real quick some of the right methods to do. Some of his old stuff is classic.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy Swan's the same way. He's got some old videos. It's just like, wow, you figured some things out over the years, didn't you?
I remember I was watching one of Izzy's videos, and I'm like, holy crap, he moved. Where's the shop go?
Oh, yeah, that seemed to have happened in a lot of his over the years. But one of the things I like about JP is when he's doing the voiceover and he's talking, you can tell where he's just like, and if you do it that way, that's fine. That's my redneck way of doing it. I always like how you critique your redneck way of doing it. That makes me laugh.
It's one of the best comments I ever had on a video. It's like, yeah, your backwards hat says redneck, but your precise analytics says very nice, smart guy. I'm like, redneck's going to be smart too. Come on, guys.
You have that voice. It's funny.
How else are they going to fix stuff the way they fix it?
Well, do you think your mechanic is just dumb? He's actually really smart. He just sounds dumb.
Yeah, he learned how to do it the wrong way right.
Yeah.
Good evening, Gerald. Thank you for joining us.
What's going on, Gerald?
He just had himself that nice article from the West Virginia newspapers there.
I read that. That was nice.
That was nice. That was really well done. I learned more about him. Sorry.
Yeah, you should see this walnut burl he gave me. It's absolutely incredible.
Well, you have a camera. Where's it at?
Okay, I'll be right back.
We'll take over from here.
He actually left.
That'll work. I'll take it. I like to see it. Hey, I don't mind.
JP out.
Yep. So next week we'll have JP Brown on and just this little screen. Oh, I'm trying to think. So dead air.
Yeah, so it's been a fun week, with everything else going on, but we all got little things kicking. You just finished that big massive white hutch thing. Looked good.
And the lady who brought it, we had one here that my wife had already purchased, and she was going to do the 2 combos, and then she found some in Asheville that had a matching buffet, so she brought those and had to knocked them out for it. She hasn't picked up this china cabinet though because of the weather with that hurricane and everything flying through. It didn't work out so well, but yeah, that thing was a beast. That is a chunk of walnut burl right there, buddy. One second, you're muted too, by the way.
Yeah, but hit the camera and forgot to hit the mic.
It's all good.
I'm a rookie.
So what's the story behind this chunk?
I believe he cut it down in 1989, I believe, Gerald. I've had it for a couple of years.
That was a good year.
Yeah.
So would you say it's dry now?
Yeah, it's very dry. It's very dry. And it's about to be cut up into a shadow box.
Okay. Now, how are you planning on doing that? Like with the bandsaw?
Yeah, bandsaw. I'm part of a Alabama Woodworkers Guild, and full shop. I think they have like 8 bandsaws now.
Nice.
All Laguna. They have a couple of 1412s, a couple of 14BXs, and 3 18BXs.
I think they have more bandsaws than Laguna does.
Yeah. Of course, the Woodworkers Guild, the average age of the guild is probably about 75, somewhere around there. So they have people just donating stuff left and right.
Okay.
A lot of guys have donated money to get them purchased. It's a fantastic shop. They got 2 saw stops. They have a bridge 20-inch joiner,
Whoa.
which is it's basically an aircraft carrier.
Especially when it slows down.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing a feature video with them somehow. I got to figure out how we want to do it though, because of the COVID stuff. But yeah, we're definitely going to make a project there and put it on the YouTube channel.
Now, is their club space, do they have like a safety program or some sort of protocol you have to go through first in order to jump in?
Absolutely, they have to train you on every single machine in the house before you can touch any of it.
Now, can you train as you go? So like, let's say they learn about the table saw first. Are they allowed to use the table saw, or they have to do all the equipment?
Yeah, they have to do every single one of them first. They have a whole checklist they have to complete first, and then you can get on the machines.
I'm just wondering how they did that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very safe. No, they have a couple of guys that work there every night. It used to be that the shop was open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and like Tuesday and Wednesday. But now it's just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they'll have 2 or 3 managers there watching everybody. It's kind of like supervisors.
Oh, okay. Just make sure everyone's using it correctly so someone doesn't have to fix it later.
Yeah. Yeah, you should see them yell at people for not turning the blast gate off.
Oh. Donald says, easy how you talk to them old guys.
I meant mature individuals.
We can't call them elders?
Sure.
Or how about older guys?
There you go. Older guys would work. I'm trying to think I don't remember because I've grown up with all the old guys. That's how I learn what I know from things. And I'm trying to think. I don't remember. They're just shop guys at the shop, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I learned all my woodworking from my uncles and my dad. So, been around the elders.
Yeah, the elders.
Every time you say elders, it just reminds you, like, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's exactly what comes to my mind. I was just thinking, like, do I call them old timers? No, that would be what the old timers called the old timers.
He says that'll work, but we don't know which one.
Elders?
Older, elders, mature, elders. There we go. All right, there we go.
Well, no, I put that in there. I was just questioning, but I'm just wondering if it was maybe just the shop guys. Because, hey, average age doesn't matter at that point.
The wise ones.
Oh, the ones who don't, older. Okay, he goes with older. That'll work.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that. So, JP, from now on, it's the older guys at the shop.
Can I say older gentlemen, or is that just too much?
That's a little southern.
That's true. It is. Well, I am
Gentlemen.
embedded deep in the South, so.
Well, wait a minute. That probably makes me the older guy on this panel. I'm not sure I like that anymore.
Okay, there you go. Gerald has it there. Elders implies respect. Olders reply just old.
Like it. I like it.
Too much.
Well, welcome to the Whatnot Podcast, where everything is too much.
That's right.
That's how what's what we do best, too much.
We are way over our quota for today.
And when you add a third, it just multiplies the problems.
Makes it easier. Let me ask, do you think we've said too much?
Ooh.
Oh, I had to go there, didn't I?
Is it a copyright or something on that?
Nah, maybe.
Well, that's okay. Nobody's watching anyway. It will never get turned in.
No. Maybe he'll set a fire for him. Well, thank you very much, Tom. By the way,
Appreciate
Tom
that.
said you guys are great. So now we can close for the night. I think we're done here. We've done our job.
It's only going to go downhill from here, so we
Yeah.
may as well end it while we're on
Thank you,
top.
Chris.
30-minute of an hour long podcast, and we have our highest ratings.
That's right.
That's okay. We did an hour and a half last week, so we made up for the half hour we're going to lose tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, we had 0.1 going last week.
Yeah, y'all were. I was on that, and I did not get anything done in the shop. I was right in the middle of my miter station bill. I was like, I'm gonna stop here and watch this, and I had an hour and a half later.
Well, that's a good compliment because we didn't realize how fast that was going by when we were talking. We really didn't. That went really quick.
Yeah, time flies when you have fun, man.
Well, it's an interesting topic, and we've kind of, Mike and I have never really, we've talked about kind of things from his perspective as the marketing guy for work, the number of people that reach out, and, I've kind of shared some of my stories of things that have happened to me. And, I personally have reached out to Bessie via social media multiple times. I have yet to see a clamp, but that's okay. I'll buy clamps when they're on sale, and it doesn't have to be Bessie. I'm not proud.
Yeah.
Now
I got to where I really like those little aluminum we sell. Those are nice little clamps.
the little
Great for glue ups.
little rounded top ones.
They're the aluminum ones from South Dakota.
Oh yeah, Doopy Q. I can't
Yeah,
remember
Dubuque.
that. Dubuque. Yeah.
Dubuque.
No, those are really nice clamps, and I'm glad that they started bringing more of those in because they were out for a while too.
Yeah, I mean they don't have the reach that some of the Bessies do for some of the things, but for basic glue ups, man, those are amazing clamps. I love them. Lightweight, glue doesn't stick to them, easy to use.
Yeah, that is the only downside to it is that they are very shallow in the throat. It'd be nicer if they were a little bit longer. But I can tell you that the only way a lot of people got Bessie one year, and I think it was 2018, was going to Workbench Con. Bessie sent literally, I think, everybody who attended clamps. And then they didn't do anything else the rest of that year. That was their big push. So, again, every company's got a different way of going about doing it.
I need to start going to Workbench Con now.
Well, the last year they had it in 19, it was nowhere near like that at all because Woodpecker wasn't there. Thank you, Donald, for that, by the way. And then Scott Houston's right; they are very light clamps, which is nice about them, and no rust if you're in a humid area like JP would be. There's no rust involved in those clamps because of aluminum.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, if you're comparing them to like the traditional bar clamps or the I-beam style, I'd choose them all day long. Now, you can't quite get the torque like you can on an I-beam, but they beat a bar all day long. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, there's a certain woodworking company that has like blue in their logo. They've copied them, and that's one of the things. Like theirs is blue, but they're aluminum clamps they get from China. They're not made here in Iowa.
Yeah,
That's a downside.
the detents aren't as deep, and they have a tendency to slip when you put a little torque on them. Those other ones, the Dubuque has a really good detent, and the quality of the thread on the screw is real good. So yeah, I've used a lot of cheap clamps in my day, and those definitely don't fall in that ballpark for me. But for just glue ups, they're great. I still like my homemade wooden ones. I mean, I use them all the time.
Sounds like the same company that ghosted me on IG.
Oh, could be. Could be. Yeah, we knew someone who was a very big YouTuber that got a huge care package from him. And the best way he could describe it was like they just gave him all the trash or the returns. They didn't give him good products. Yeah, they just
Clearance section.
Yeah, like, oh, here you go. If you just mention us a couple of times, here's some stuff. And he was like, what am I going to do with all of this? It's all trash. But,
But that's the price you pay when you're working with manufacturers and distributors is, you can't really dictate what they give you.
Right.
You can ask and you can say, hey, I'd love to review some of your products and but it comes down to if they want to give you returns and stuff like that, that's all you can do is do what you got. And Mike went through a haze there.
Yeah, sorry, I was petting the cat.
No, one of the things I'm tending to lean towards is trying to help out these smaller people, the one-man shops that are trying to get into production. Like this T-Track system I have, it's a one-man shop, it's a machine shop. And there's also getting Friday. I'm getting these little clips that go on my table saw that lines up the trunnions perfectly, and that's a one-man machine shop too. So I'm just I like helping out the smaller people who are just getting into it and try to find their way.
Well, I think those are good too because they have a product that might have a niche and they may not know how to market that niche as well. So getting together with someone like you to get that name out, or, you're in the communities a lot too with Facebook. And if someone says something about, hey, I'm having this trouble, then you're a good resource to go to where you're like, well, then I would suggest using this because that's what I liked about you anyways, is that your trust equity is very high with me as far as when you say something and you're going to do it, or something you tried and you really like it, or something you tried and you didn't like, but at the same time, you don't bash it.
Right.
That too, because you're just like, I didn't have success with that. That's a great line to say with something that didn't work for you. You never come out and say that's complete and total junk. You'll say, I would probably steer this way, or I wouldn't invest my money in that, or something. You have a very nice way of putting it to the community, especially in the King's Fine Woodworking.
Sure, absolutely.
Well, and one thing too that I've noticed is you don't intentionally make a product fail. I've seen a lot of review videos and stuff where they were intentionally trying to bash one product to promote heavily the other. Yeah. And if it's going to fail, let it fail, but don't intentionally make it fail. Because there are products that are designed to be used a certain way that if you use them slightly different, they're not going to work, and so, So I appreciate, people who have that honesty and say, and kind of do a true fair comparison.
Yeah, that is my number one goal. I try to not take any sponsorships for review videos, except for my last video, which, I told them straight out of the box, like, if I hate this product, I'm going to tell you I like this product, but I'm probably not going to use it. So, and they were really cool with that, and they really appreciated that too. And it's just like, I also had the 720 review. I think it's a great jig. There's some design problems with it. But I also referenced the video at the first of it. It's like, hey, if you're a beginning woodworker, any of these jigs are going to work for you. They're going to work. They're going to work for you, and they're going to do what you need them to do. But then I put in my personal preference.
Well, and you have to do that because you have a certain niche type product that you do, or a certain method that you like to perform in your shop that other people may not. Some people love T-Track. Some people like the match fit dovetail style. Some people like, other types of track and hold down. So everybody has a preference. It's just a matter of how you do your woodworking, and it may or may not fit the way you do your woodworking. But it may work fantastic for other people. So
just to catch up real quick, Donald did say that he likes the Hartford clamp. I have not personally heard of that one. So I don't know if you guys have, by all means. But he's had good luck with them. So now I'm interested in knowing what that is. So I'll Google
the Hartford. I thought that was an insurance company.
That is too.
Oh, okay.
And then Gerald said it's called the manner of function when you use a tool to do what it is designed to do. You mean using my hand as a hammer is not correct? My grandfather was right about that.
Leave it up to Gerald to bring in the professional way to present something.
Yes, and your finger will not light up the light bulb when you stick it into the socket either. Just saying.
But it will let you know it's hot.
You will learn a lesson.
One way or another. Oh, okay. So I'm trying to describe. They're basically like a miter clamp. Well, they do have other clamps, but I've seen the miter Hartford clamp before. It grips on the outside edges and holds that miter tight. And it's got a little ratchet on the side.
That's the one that pinches the sides of them.
Yeah, but not like the picture frame miter ones do. It's not the little spring, but it's an actual clamp. Let's see here.
Yeah, because going from this to this completely changed the way it was used. So I appreciate that illustration there, Mike.
You're so welcome. Hold on a second. Let me get that out of the way.
So that slight differences that make the biggest difference.
Look at that.
So that bad.
Looks like something out of a torture chamber.
I don't know about that, but I understand that now. That's an old design, but that's cool.
You know when you go into doctor's offices and they like to collect old doctor's utensils and gadgets, and they look all like, from the 1900s, and they look like torture devices?
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of that.
You know, it's
Something you'd use to reattach a leg to the calf or something,
the elbow splint from 1901.
Yeah, that's when their only medication was a lot of whiskey.
And based on what we previously learned, that's not an old tool. That's an older tool.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's an elder tool.
That's lots of wisdom there. Anytime whiskey's involved, there's wisdom, right? Yeah, that makes total sense.
Now, that makes sense or not, that's up to the person.
No, that makes sense. Okay, so Donald says that clamp holds the corner tight. I could see where that would work a lot better than just those little picture frame pinchies. I'll find those and show them to you.
Those are corner spring or spring corner clamps. We used to carry them at work, I think.
That's where I'm looking now.
With that funky little pair of pliers to go with.
Yeah, there they are.
So,
hold on a second. Those?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks like something you'd use to spread your nostrils apart. Gnarly looking thing.
Way to make it weird, Chris.
Yep, I was just thinking the same thing. Like, not a ring.
Well, I can't breathe today. Okay, I can breathe just fine now. Thanks a lot for opening my sinuses.
That was a snoring device from 1905.
And that's what they had before they had the Afrin spray they sprayed in their nose, the ENT.
Afrin.
What do they call that? A deviated septum. That's how you undeviate it.
Yeah, I had a deviated septum. It was the shape of a K. Yeah.
So while you're here, don't forget to leave a comment about an idea you have for a show or you want to know more about topics. And if you want to know the secret brownie recipe, please share, like, and subscribe. And then also, if you'd like to help us in any way, Patreon, Whatnot Podcast.
Okay, Mike, you're going to have to find a sound effect of a train. So when we go off the rails, you just play the train sound effects.
Let me get my stream deck.
Anyway, fun stuff.
So yes, and then once again, just while we're here in the middle, the Foxhall Woodworks, that is JP Brown's YouTube. Yep, that guy right there.
Go check it out. Give him a subscribe and ring the little bell for him. Tell him the Whatnot Podcast sent you.
Donald says if there are marks that the clamp show on the corners, that is the mark of a quality clamp was used. You know what? I give you that one. Because if you're clamping something up, you haven't sanded, you're not fully done yet, so you've still got some machining to do or something. So yeah, absolutely. If you have clamp marks that show, then you've got a quality grip. How's that?
That'll work. That'll work well. It's been freaking me out every time you take a drink. There's like something missing from that container every time you take a sip.
Oh, green screen or something. What is it?
Yeah, he's got to be using green screen
He's muted.
or something because it's like half the part of the can's missing.
Hold on, I gotta look through my Clorox bottle to see where the settings are.
You know what it reminds me of? Wasn't it? Didn't you have the green screen on and you had the sun drop?
No, yeah, it's green screen's turned on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did that one time with a sun drop and it looked really funny.
Yeah, there was no bottle there. Like it just said sun drop floating out in the middle of nowhere.
It's like, how'd you figure that out, Chris? That's a sweet graphic.
That one night I had had my crisscross craft shirt on too that was green and stood up, and that kind of showed up funny in the.
It didn't. It did. What? Oh, wasn't it the Whatnot behind it?
Yeah.
So it was all wood grainy right through the crisscross.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Anyway, electronics, modern technology, totally awesome.
Hey, Gerald asked about the next live Clean Sport event.
Yep, it is going to be the 18th. No, let's say the next live one. Well, I was thinking virtual live next year at some point. But if you want to, any of the stores in North Carolina, the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd, each store is going to have a live event at the store. But the full event, that will not be until next year sometime.
Yeah, we still need to work on that Alabama franchise.
Yeah. Let us get there eventually.
What's in Alabama?
Well, we have one woodworking store in the whole state. That's about it. So there's a lot of opportunity.
I've driven through Alabama north to south and east to west, and
A lot of trees, a lot of heat.
it's not too bad once you get down towards the Gulf. The heat's
Yeah.
still bad, but at least it's better to look at.
And it's
Yeah.
breezy too. You get some
Yeah.
you get some sheer winds off the ocean.
Yeah, but I've noticed there's parts of every state that's like, eh. It's the bad part when you've seen 46 out of 50, and most of that's been in the industrial side of the state, parts
Oh,
of the
yeah.
state, and you're like, yeah,
That's never the best side of any state.
yeah. But hey, as a fat guy, I appreciate all the really good food I've had.
There you go. Nothing wrong with some good food. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else here to cover when it comes down to talking to manufacturers. I think we did a pretty good job of covering what most people would encounter.
So give us your top tips, JP, for reaching out to
Yeah.
to people if you want to be kind of work with a company or a manufacturer. What's your sort of top tried and true methods that have worked for you?
My number one is just be honest with them. Just, hey, if you want to send them an IG message, Facebook message, say, hey guys, like a product. I have this YouTube channel where I do reviews. If you'd be interested, you can send me the product and I'll review it for you. Just leave it at that. Don't be, don't go in there and try to like beg them and like, hey, any kind of that stuff.
Or suck up to them real heavily?
Right. They hate that, by the way.
Do they? No, I'm just kidding. I think you lose the trust equity when you suck up to them. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
Yeah, it's just you're just going to show them that this guy just wants free tools.
Yes.
No. Or sandpaper. A lot of sandpaper.
Well, just to say something on that, it's on the manufacturer side, it's almost like overwhelming. Like you put a free car on Facebook Marketplace and you're getting everybody you can possibly think of saying, dude, I'll take it first, or I'll come get it, or, hey, send that to me or whatever. Think of it that way. Cause that's what it's kind of like some days where you open it up and it's like, oh, I don't even want to deal with that right now. Like that's insane amount of messages for free stuff.
Well,
So just so you know that, like some manufacturers are just overly, that's all they get all day is, hey, send me something. So that happens.
Of course, next step is be yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not.
Yeah.
Because especially if you have a YouTube channel, they're going to see that very, very quickly that you're not what you say you are in a conversation.
Yeah.
For sure.
How do you get sponsors to give money instead of products? That's when you get into lawyers.
Yeah.
It's even tougher.
I've never had a sponsorship with money before, and I don't think I want that. Just I'd rather have product because it's more. You can promote products more to your audience instead of, hey, this guy paid me this money to hey, this is the tool they gave me. Look at it; it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I have to agree with that because if someone has a project, like if Chris had a project for me to finish, my rule with friends and family wanting me to finish anything is go buy me the finish.
No.
You supply the finish and I'll do the work for you because I can make more money off of that leftover lacquer or that leftover paint than I can if they just handed me $60 for doing something. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Go buy 2 gallons of lacquer and that will do much better for me than anything else. Plus they're only out the exact materials, what they would cost.
Sure. Yeah, that's the same thing I do for my friends too. Is like, hey, somebody wants something built. It's like, can you do this for cheaper? No. But if you can go find the materials cheaper, I'll do it for free because I'm also going to make a video off of it too. So.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, when you have a 24 by 24 panel and Mike says, yeah, I need 5 gallons of lacquer for this. You start to question where that's coming from.
You wanted like 12
That's,
cups, right?
that's not what happened. That's not what happened. I'm just messing.
Well, that's what we
I didn't
do.
want to ruin your name with my lies.
I mean, that's what we do in our plans for our woodworking projects. We're not going to count each pocket hole screw that we actually put in this pocket. We're like, go get a box of 500 screws.
Yeah. You're going to need them regardless.
Yeah, you'll need them now or in the future.
And see, that's a tough spot that Gerald is in because he is at that, and I think the article nailed it because he's at that threshold of making it big. You know, he either hasn't gotten in front of the exact person to jump on line and say, hey, we're going to, you know, support this whole next season kind of thing, because I don't know, I'm trying to think of who it was that really ruined, you know, paid sponsorships for people and woodworking companies, but there was a time around the late 90s where it's before the HGTV really took off.
Norm
Norm kind of ended that era, if you will, but there was what's his name?
Bob Vila.
Tommy Mack.
Oh, Tommy Mack.
Tommy Mack was great gentleman and as he was, but he kind of got, you know, raked over the coals, the name, the whole 9 yards. But at the same time, that really put a damper on anyone else wanting to do content like that was on a professional video side of things. And that's really where YouTube started to pick up and take off, is because people can be like, well, I'll just do it myself. If it gets picked up, it gets picked up. That's great. If not, then I can do these small things with 100 people, you know, as far as companies go, and it'll work out the same way. So it really depends on how you want to approach it. But unfortunately, he's in one of those really tough spots where time is really going to be the best thing from what I can tell.
Yeah. I mean, GoFundMe or Patreon.
Patreon's your best bet, Joe. Really.
Both are good options for you.
You can have people that want to personally support you every month, every project, whatever you want. They can personally support you, and then that's going towards you that has nothing to do with PBS, which is nice. You can just do it all for yourself.
And the beauty of that is you can have 100 people that sponsor you for $2 a month versus trying to reach out and find one person that's going to give you $5,000.
Yeah.
And so that allows you to reach a much smaller audience, or a much larger audience, but at smaller increments, which the smaller increments, you know, multiplied could pan out a whole lot better. And then, you know, you could do something special for those who do follow or do cover with your Patreon, because you do enough stuff that you really could have some really cool behind the scenes stuff that would be very perfect for that kind of package.
And if you hadn't heard of Patreon, it's spelled this way, with patreon.com/105. No, but in all seriousness, Patreon's great because places and platforms like YouTube are starting to recognize Patreons for your page by giving them special banners in the chat, or giving them special privileges that show up in the comments first, things like that, that whenever you have a really strong following of people who are dedicated behind you, like the Whatnotters that we have are great because they come, they show up, they're fully engaged, and we love that. So, you know, with something along those lines, you want to give back to the community, and Patreon really is a great way of doing that because they're supporting you in what you like to do, but at the same time, you're showing it back and showing the community that, hey, this person's, you know, backing me up. They're the ones that are saying, hey, you know, this is a great thing. So I hope that helps.
Yeah. I mean, and you might be at that sort of that threshold where you're teetering between two worlds, and Patreon may be that perfect link to kind of keep you moving forward instead of becoming stagnant in that in-between land.
Yep. And you can look at, there's a, if you're to look up a majority of your bigger YouTube names, they all have Patreons, and a lot of them will either put all the names at the end. I know Craftsman's probably my favorite, and the way that he approaches it, because he does behind the scenes stuff, maybe what he's working on for the next video. He shows just the Patreons that content through Patreon alone. But then at the end of every video, he has all their names up there. So if you're someone who just likes to have your name on the billboard for supporting someone, that works out really well, and all in how you want to present it too.
Yeah.
What do you think, JP? What do you think about Patreon?
I can make you a Patreon list graphic for your videos. Just saying.
What do you charge for something like that?
probably about $100, something like that.
Is that the friends and family discount? Is it as low as you can go? Can you do any better?
No.
Don't you hate that
No.
question? Don't you?
Yeah, I do. That's one of the things I'm trying to get away from. That side of the business. I like doing the plans. It's cool, but like the motion graphics and graphic editing or video editing it's too much of a trouble to even deal with it. But I would like to do Patreon, but since I have a full-time job, it's kind of hard to give everybody else, your tier or provide something for the tiers, just because of the time restraints.
And at the same time, you don't have to provide tiers. That's what Chris and I found out, is that we were doing the whole tier thing. We're going through it all. And then it was just like, no one's going to do that. So why don't we just do $1? Hey, tell you what, just throw me $1. And then there's, who is it? AVE, another channel I really like. He just does buy me a beer, $5. That's his only tier.
Yeah.
Buy me a beer, support me, buy me a beer. And that's like, that's great. Cause it's like, here's $5. You're buying me a beer. That's what you're getting out of it.
Yeah.
It's simple. And at the same time, if I give him $5, I know I'm buying him a beer. Not a big deal.
Yeah, I actually thought about changing my donation button on my website to buy me a beer.
There you go. I think that actually has a lot more pull with some people. It really does. It all depends on your audience.
Yeah, it gives. Well, woodworking, you probably have some beer drinkers, but
I can imagine.
But that term is kind of more relatable to them.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, is that, on when you're sponsored by or doing something, you're always representing that company for as long as you're tied up to whatever sponsorship you're doing with them. And that's the other thing that I see a lot of people failing on, is that they'll forget sometimes. Their heads will get a little too big in their numbers, and they'll forget sometimes that they are still a person, still putting their pants on one leg at a time, and they'll make a slip up and then start losing sponsors. And we see it all the time with, like, big movie stars or big rock stars or whatever.
Right.
But it happens a lot on YouTube. They'll make a mistake somewhere, someone will catch it, and they lose that sponsorship awful fast.
Stay off Twitter.
Stay off Twitter. That's no joke.
I've come to Twitter is an evil, evil, evil animal. It's almost as bad as Reddit. I've actually had better success on Reddit than I have Twitter.
You get your communities out there for sure on Reddit to where they're good. I think, what is it, 3.7 million right now in the woodworking community alone. So you're gonna have someone see your post. Yeah,
they got the DIY's got like 170 million or something like that.
Yeah, and that one's getting to the point of where it's just ridiculous advertising now. There's not really even a subreddit.
Yeah, they don't even have admins anymore. They're all auto bots.
There's too many posts.
You said the word YouTube, man.
Yep. No, we said no links. So you could just, that's a whole, you got to take literally, I think, either a couple hours every night in order to find the right group for you. Because I think that's the nice thing about Reddit, is you got subgroups and you've got areas you can go to that would better suit you in what you're doing than just diving into the big pool where everyone's just constantly spamming the crap out of it.
Right.
No content.
I've actually found one that's called Woodworking Videos, and it's just a bunch of woodworkers posting their videos.
That's it.
And some people, and the biggest thing about that kind of stuff like that, you have to have an outstanding thumbnail, or they will not click on it.
Yes, because there's so many.
Right. My video for the lumber rack I did 2 videos ago, that was actually the first custom thumbnail I've ever done. The rest of them used to just be pictures with some words on it or whatever. I've actually did that custom as a SketchUp model. I did it all in Photoshop, and that one had a higher click rate than any of my videos combined.
Okay, so let's talk about that for just a quick second. So do you ever do the A/B test since you're into graphics?
I'm not even sure what that means.
All right, so the A/B test is where you take 2 thumbnails, and let's say for today you run thumbnail A, and then tomorrow you run thumbnail B, and then for 2 days you run thumbnail A, and then for 2 more days you run thumbnail B. And what it does is that it'll show you your A/B comparison. So did this thumbnail do better than that one for the exact same content? Because it's the same video, you're just changing the thumbnail.
Right. I have not done that, but I've seen people do that before. And that's a really good idea. I need to try that.
Try it. I did that with just one video, and there's not a lot of views on it, but there was definitely a bigger response to one versus the other. And then one we did for work, which is the wood burning one, I had one image on there and it wasn't getting a lot of interest. And then I changed the image and it blew up.
It blew up, yeah.
Yeah, and it was simply just a wood burned wolf. It was one quick little part of the video, but when I saw it, I said, let me screenshot that in the editor and make a thumbnail out of it. And that's all I did. And that took off because everyone was making comments like, oh, I love this wolf. That's why I clicked on the video.
Right, yeah.
And it wasn't clickbait because it was in the video, but at the same time,
It was
A/B
just
tests.
an interesting visual picture.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's what started me down the A/B test trail, was to find out, okay, what else can I take a simple video and just change the thumbnail and what happens?
No.
Or older ones.
My nephew is also a professional graphic designer.
Mhm.
I don't know if you ever heard of SB2 Tools. They make tools for basically NASCAR, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
But like the mechanics for NASCAR. And he looked at one of my thumbnails and he's like, I'm about to drive up from Mobile and beat your butt right now. I'm like, okay, for one thing, you're 26 years younger than me. I will whip you. Second, I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, the spacing in your letters on your YouTube thumbnail is driving me insane. Because I didn't do the VA where it stretches out the spacing between the letters.
Yeah, and copy print. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, that is the number one graphics design no ever. And he's like, aren't you a professional graphics artist? I'm like, yeah, but I did it. I went to school 25 years ago. So
Everything wasn't digital then? What are you trying to tell me?
so yeah, I spray painted on there and took a picture. But yeah, just little things like that make a big difference, a huge difference.
And it's the unsaid rule, I guess you'd say, as far as just having graphics like that the eye, it's pleasing to the eye.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, it's especially because a lot of people have vision problems or stuff like that, and they're squinting to see what it actually says, and they can't say it. They'll move on.
Yep. They'll skip right over it.
So like me, I'm scrolling through my YouTube, my front page, anything with a Mandalorian face on it, I'm going to click on that video.
You're there.
I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so. But,
I hate Star Wars, but I love that Mandalorian.
Chris,
That was a
fired to me.
great series.
You're done with me.
Fired.
Fired.
You can't say hate. Maybe you're just not a big fan, or you just like the franchise.
You don't.
But I wouldn't say hate.
You're Star Trek, isn't he?
Okay, I'll back up. The original, I can dig that because I kind of grew up with that. The new
Right.
stuff, it just doesn't tie. But the Mandalorian, I would choose that over all of the whole Star Wars series.
Yeah, the Mandalorian also ties into the original Star Wars series too, so that's why a lot of old school fans like that.
Actually goes a direction we wanted to see Star Wars go.
Plus, the actor that plays the Mandalorian, I'm a fan of his, and I didn't know he was playing the Mandalorian until I was about half an episode in and went, wait a minute, I know that voice.
Pedro Pascal. Yeah, from what's that show he's on?
There was one where he was
Some Mexican drug.
Narco.
Yeah, Narco. It's outstanding.
I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, me too.
I really do know. I got off of television, got off watching it. I mean, unless the kids or the wife is watching something, I don't watch TV that much anymore.
Just so
you
you
got-
know, this is Netflix.
Have you guys ever ventured? This is actually a really good question. Have you ever ventured into Facebook videos and content creation on there?
Other than what we're doing tonight here.
Yeah. So I read an article the other day that, once you get to your subscription plateau of where you can start making money off Facebook, it's actually more profitable than YouTube. And that's just because it's tied. It's also tied into IG, and IG has more followers than any of the platforms. But probably maybe not TikTok, but that's the new fad.
Okay. I do know that they have almost like YouTube, where it has like 6 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60-second type of ads. They also have view seconds in Facebook time. So if you had, 1 minute video, who watched the first 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 45, like they really have broken down the algorithm for video watching on YouTube. Because whenever we post a video and I look at it, it's like, it tells you like way too many, I think is way too much. I don't, everyone's going to see the first like 3 seconds, because if you are scrolling, that's usually the length of time on desktop. And so they roll past that. But it's like, if you have, between 15 and 30, well, then, we're going to put it more into the feed, basically. But I'll look into that for the profitability of it. I know they have memberships and they have all kinds of different tiers and stuff now too.
Yeah, they just came out with that not too long ago.
Good stuff. Well, we do appreciate your time tonight, JP. We do. We're running into an hour, so unless anyone has any questions, we're just going to thank our great guest. Would you like to come back sometime?
Absolutely. It's always fun.
Cool. Sorry, it was an unofficial invite, Chris. I invited him back.
That's okay. We'll have a meeting later.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
come back
for including me.
We had a meeting and Chris said no, so no.
Yeah.
Yo, that'd be funny. We had a meeting and we decided that we're not going to have you back, which basically means Chris said no.
You know what? We're going to have it, but we'll call you when the time is right.
No, but
Let's
this
post
watching the YouTube videos together, I think that'd be a blast.
Hey, I don't mind doing that. If anyone watching, live or after the fact, if you would like to see something like that, it's not a reaction video necessarily, but it's more of just we're just going to, kind of take maybe some segments out of videos. We haven't really decided how we're going to go about this. We don't want it to be a reaction video, but I'm thinking of just, if I watched a video, I want to find like 15-second clip where they're doing something. And then I want to ask you, what did I miss here? Like, is there something in this particular clip that I'm not seeing what they're describing, or they're describing what they're not showing, that kind of thing. That's how I was originally thinking it when Chris brought it up. What are you thinking?
Or I even offered up a clip. I mean, I even offered up my own clip that we can start. Say, let's watch one of my old ones and let's just critique the heck out of it. Let's have a good roast. I'm ready for that. I think it'd be hilarious because I roast my own videos anyway. There's a point of editing where you're just like, you know what, I'm done. Let's just hit go. And if nobody likes it, then screw them. I'm good to go. I'm fine with it. But I think that would be fun to do. I mean, I do it on my own already anyway, so it's might as well make a podcast out of it.
Yeah, it's kind of editing your video. You're just like, what the hell am I rambling on about? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, put that link back up there for his channel. That must have been when Kyle was sleeping.
I need to start doing. I'd like to start doing bloopers at the end of my videos because I think I've had people dying laughing.
Yeah, I pepper those in at the end myself. I'll do 2 or 3 videos in a row with bloopers, and then I'll skip a video or two and then throw a couple more in it after down the line.
Yeah. The problem is my bloopers involve a lot of bad language, so I had to get the bleeps out.
Just hit the mute button through the whole thing.
Yeah, when I snapped my Amana counter seat bit yesterday, yeah, I was mad.
Understood.
Oh, okay. No, okay. You saying that after the fact. Sorry.
I said the same thing. I had the same problem with my snappy. I was like, wait a minute. I have an Amana. Why am I mad about snapping a snappy?
Yeah, I snapped 2 snappies yesterday. And when you watch the video, you're going to know why. And it's just one of those like, oh my God, why are you even in the shop with sharp things?
That's a question that's for everybody. I think that's anybody and everyone who gets in the shop. There's some days where you just have to realize today is not that day and turn around and walk out.
Mm-hmm.
I choose those days to pick up a broom.
That's a good day to clean and organize by far, yes.
I've had a few of those the past month.
I took a whole week of vacation to actually clean my shop. That's how bad it got.
I would love to do that.
Well,
I would do that if I could organize. Sorry.
Yeah. Best vacation ever.
Well, see, Mike works from home, so from about 10 to 2, that's what he does. He goes outside and works, and then he works in the morning doing his job, and then he works in the afternoon doing his job. But from 10 to 2, he's out doing his own thing because he works from home.
Well,
I'm sure that's what our boss thinks.
But wouldn't that be considered research and development?
It will be soon, as a matter of fact. Yeah, because we had to come up. We didn't come up with it. We were told that we need to make more content, like we used to last year during everything going on. And so we said, okay, so we're going to need to be able to take time to get in the shop and make that content. And he said, whatever you got to do, just make it happen. So yeah, I'm sure he was already thinking that that's what I do. 10 to 2, I'm like, he's like, you that's finishing something. Our boss is a trip.
I'm going to start time stamping Mike's stories and his posts to see, kind of when things go out.
Yeah.
But now that there's that Facebook business thing, you can schedule stuff, and I love that.
Yeah.
I've scheduled quite a few things that go out at a certain time just to test the waters to see what gets the better result. But
that's a good idea. Just stop doing it live and just put it ahead of time.
Yeah, I actually shared our new company that's actually out of North Carolina. I actually shared with my new boss that I'm a YouTuber. He's like, oh, I'm a woodworker too. So let me see your channel. I sent it to him, and I told him as a disclaimer that if you see a video that's released on 1 o'clock on a Tuesday, that video was scheduled released. He's like, okay, yeah, I get it.
So speaking of Foxhall Woodworks, he has over 2,500 subscribers with almost 200,000 views.
Nice.
There's a lot of content on this channel. Like, there's a good amount of playlist here. So if you're looking for something to check out, I like the tool review video, especially let's see, episode 4. That's a good one.
I don't remember what episode 4 was.
That is the combination blade I sent you.
Yeah, that's a sweet video.
He was so excited, and I that really got me kind of like excited for helping do YouTube videos. Was that video right there?
That video didn't do very well, but that was one of my favorite videos I've actually recorded.
I think it's that thumbnail because you look kind of scary.
That's true. I think we need to do actually, no, what we don't even need to do the A/B test. Let's just go with B.
Yeah, because whenever you have your finger sticking through the arbor hole and then you're kind of staring right at the teeth itself.
Yeah, that's a bad
not scary at all. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, I want to watch that.
Yeah, I might have to go back and change that one. Because I'm going to do one on the glue line rip blade too in my next video. Because I got some hardwoods.
Oh, that'll really show that off. If you ever get a chance on the Klingspor Abrasives USA, Chris and I did a video a long time ago when he worked there on all of the blades. And there is a compound miter cut on that 10-quarter maple. And I don't know, I don't think you can see it in the video. I think we cut it out. But him and I both looked at each other like that thing didn't make a noise. You couldn't hear it cut. It was so quiet and it ate right through it like it wasn't even there. And we had a brand new Bosch blade we were comparing it to. So both of us were like, yes, this is awesome.
Those are the HT100 blade, right?
Yeah, that was a 12-inch 100 teeth, yeah.
Which is my favorite blade of all time.
It is a really good miter blade. Like, it's amazingly good.
I don't know how many times I've suggested that blade on Facebook for people who are talking about Force Woodworker 2s. I'm like, or the Force Chopmaster.
Yep, Chopmaster versus that one by far.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, save yourself about $100 and get this blade, and it actually outperforms that blade. They're like, I never heard of that. I didn't know Klingspor had blades. Well, now you know, and know it's half the battle.
And that's why he doesn't get notes from me that say, hey, this is pretty interesting. You got to give him a little bit of trouble for that, too. Right.
Yeah, me and him are not on good terms at the moment, but I will. I will give him a hard time about it.
Yeah, give him a hard time anyways. Bring you back to speaking terms.
There you go. Has something to talk about.
There you go. Well,
so when you get in a CNC, JP, answer that real quick.
I do not know, and that is the one thing that I do want in my shop, because I don't know if y'all have ever seen me and Ryan's video of the CNC flip cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to build one of those for my shop. And I've had a lot of people who've ordered those plan sets, and they want to do, hey, will this fit the One Infinity CNC? Will this fit the Shark Infinity? You know, bunch of different things, and I want to get back into that. But yes, I really do want a CNC. That's my next big tool purchase.
Worth the money.
Yeah, Chris, I'm going to get with you. I need to pick your brain about them, what brands and whatnot.
Hey,
Yeah, we can do that.
I was going to say, we can do an entire podcast on that. I'll just sit off to the side and just listen and learn, because that's one area I don't touch. I let Chris just 100% have that one. I was like, it's all yours.
See, that would be the episode we would bring Mr. Kyle Ely on.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so what's funny is our boss and our purchasing manager both have been just like, oh, CNC costs so much. It's like, I don't want to do much. Oh, we'll just do this, but we don't want to do that. I was approached today about some accessories for the CNCs, not through with a brand, but that would be across multiple brands. And we're now going to be bringing in and stocking the Amana nut, the R20 nut, and the 1/8, quarter, 3/8, and 1/2 inch collet. So we will now have the nuts and collets for the ER20 series CNCs, which it's not much, but trust me, that's milestones compared
That
to
is
where we
huge.
were a year ago.
Easily. Where we were a year ago is we had some item numbers set up, but no stock. It was just like a hope and a dream.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the day stuff. So, but at night we are here at What Not Podcast, enjoying our time with JP from Foxhall Woodworks.
That's right. And hopefully we can get an episode going. We'll have JP ask the questions. Chris will help with the machinery, and Kyle can jump in with the software. Have you seen Kyle Eli's? There it is right there. LearnYourCNC.com there, JP.
No, not, and I will definitely check that out.
You got to
For
check
sure.
it out for
Yeah,
sure. You
I've
get a
heard
lot of those websites and YouTubes that are like, tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
By far with Vetric, that one, I was learning something and I had zero clue about how to use any of it. And I was understanding it. So when Chris is showing me stuff and how cool it is, I'm never like, hey, that's really awesome. I'm like, I don't quite get what we're looking at here.
Yeah. See, I have very high-end SketchUp skills, and I would like to incorporate some of those designs in CNC because I do have an SVG exporter, so I get the faces off of it. So yeah, I definitely want to get into that kind of stuff. I'm all about design.
Well, when you get ready, we can certainly get you all the contacts you need, all the information you need. Just give me a call, and we'll work something out. Or like Mike said, we'll make a podcast out of it.
Absolutely,
that'd be
that'd be fun. Yeah, no doubt.
Because I think what information would be shared and the questions you have, a lot of other people's may have as well. So we'll just do something fun with it.
Yep. So you just let us know 1 week that works good with your work schedule, and then we'll check with Mr. Kyle Eli and see if that works. There he is now. Thanks, guys. Vetric can import SketchUp files with ease. Done deal.
Yes, again.
Yep.
So we'll figure that one out and see what we can do, because I think that would be fun. I don't mind if I just sit on the sidelines and just press buttons.
Well, and you would have questions as a woodworker. You might have questions that are random and would pertain to that too. So there we go.
That's true. Well, yeah, I had to have questions because we had him on for the extravaganza, and I think I was asking him more questions than you were. But I was curious as to how all this works. I have no clue. So now I do.
Good questions. So
All right. So don't forget Foxhall Woodworks, JP Brown, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere credit cards are sold.
the man with the snow cone microphone.
Yes. Till
It's a-
next
it's-
week.
It's a fuzzy rabbit, man. Come on.
Is that a redneck term?
No, it's called a screaming weasel or something like that.
At least I got the name right for what it looks like.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well,
Well, we appreciate everybody watching. Kyle, I know it's past your bedtime, so we know you got to go. You're a busy guy, but we thank everybody for watching, and hopefully this was interesting enough to, keep you coming back for more.
Absolutely. So Wednesdays, 9 p.m. I'm Mike Z.
I'm Chris.
And that guy's JP Brown.
I'm JP.
That's JP.
Yeah, that guy right there. Yeah.
Hey, guys.
All right. Thank you again for watching, and I hope everyone has a great night.
Not a weatherman.
Not a weatherman. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like pointing it.